Hey guys, Glenn here. Gonna be doing my video today on Town Hall 9 base building and sort of what is working currently for Town Hall 9s and just pointing out how the base is built and what's key to look for in a good Town Hall 9 base. I'm just going to be playing now using some replays and bases of this clan that we just recently lost to in an arranged war or friendly war. I'm going to start with this base. So I'm not going to show the replays just because this is a Town Hall 10 heading down to a Town Hall 9. But this was one of the bases that we struggled with. So what you can notice with this base is that the air defense is far away from the queen. So people should realize that the queen is kind of like your fifth air defense in a Town Hall 9 base. So by putting the air defense too close to the queen, a kill squad can easily take out one of the air defense, making the rest of the base a lot easier to take down with back-end Lalun. So in this case, someone who decides to invest in one golem, maybe some bowlers or just one golem to try to eliminate the queen, has the problem of realizing that they need a whole lot of army to try to take out this whole backside, which is a lot. And I'll show you what's on the backside of this base. Not only is it a wizard towered farm happening over here, it's got the isolated expo with the sweeper, so it's really hard to get to that expo, and the sweeper facing two air defenses each. That's really key. So basically there's no air defense that is not targetable without getting the hit from the sweeper. As well, if you can notice, overlapping air defenses really help. So what makes this base really good is these two air defenses are overlapping and they're very far away from each other. And what an overlapping air defense does is when a hound gets there, instead of it being targeted by one, and this is when I'm talking about a more of a clockwise deployment Lalun where things are happening like this or the other way around, is that hound is getting hit by not just one air defense but two air defense at once, and that can really screw up just the timing of things. So that's what makes a base like this really good, in my opinion. It's just the threat of the base, the wizard tower farm, the overlapping air defenses here and here, the sweeper facing both air defenses. As well, there is the Tesla farm here, which is another huge threat to this base. And someone to invest the golem is not going to get a lot. They're just going to get the king, queen, no Teslas there, and it's going to get the archer tower, and that's it. And that's where you have to be able to do the math to figure out that you're wasting too many troops to just get the queen, like a golem, maybe wizards, all that for the funneling. You just don't end up with enough troops to work with for the rest of the base. So I know a kill squad's objective is to get the queen, but you should always watch out and not spend too much. So I'm going to play this replay. Now let's just try to dissect why this base was tough for us, Town Hall 9s. So what's really nice about this base is that the 4 air defense again is away from the queen, so a kill squad would need to come in from here or here or here to get the air defense in the queen, but it's just that the queen is just so deep inside that there's a very good chance you might fail in getting the queen. So usually you're going to see a kill squad coming in from here, or you're going to see them coming in from here. Now the problem with this area is it's very heavy. It's very concentrated with defenses that will hurt your golem. You might be thinking, do I need 2 golems, not 1, for the global Lalun attack? And for me, this base is really not a good global Lalun base, just because of the fact that the queen is really deep, almost centralized and hidden. There are even the Teslas here, and it just makes a lot of sense to do something else than a global Lalun or a kill squad plus Lalun attack on this kind of base. So what you're gonna see from me do is I'm just gonna do a mass quad Lalun, And let's speed through this. So I don't really do it well enough, in which here I was supposed to try to get the king to get the Tesla, yes, but for the queen to pick the air defense, but I put the queen too far back, meaning that my heroes were pretty much wasted, yes. But I knew exactly how the pathing of this base was going to work, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to send 4 loons, let them eliminate these 3 air targeting defenses, which is a danger to me, and die by around here. And then I'm going to basically do a almost a clockwise Laloon deployment. It's just that I do it almost immediately. See, I'm not even really doing it clockwise. I'm sort of like overwhelming that right side of this base altogether. Now, the reason why, here's a good reason for when you can do something like this, where you're just throwing down all of your hounds on the air defenses and loons at the same time, is when you realize that the air defenses are overlapping and they're looped. If you find a base with air defenses overlapping like that, it's a lot better for you to just throw down all the hounds and loons instead of waiting for the hound to get to the next air defense and then to the next air defense before you drop those surgical loons. So here you're gonna see me swag one of the skelly spells, I believe. Do I? Yeah, I only use 1 skelly. Notice that that's a level 1 skelly, guys. And I basically distract the queen enough so the pups can get her. And then I use my max skelly for cleanup here. Yeah, it was a tough base. I mean, I had to think about this base and do realize that some of my attacks look really simple and easy, but guys, like, I plan a long time. Like, easily I spent 30 minutes, 40 minutes on this base just to think up of the pathing of loons and timing of things. So yeah, just always plan your attacks. Don't be sloppy with your attack. That's what I did the last war, so don't do that. You're not going to get good result. And what is this attack? Now, this was another really good base, and this was a good hit by Addy to 3-star it. I like that he used hogs because obviously the meta is the Laloon, so this is a very good base to counter Laloon. So another, just to point out the threats or the reason why this is a good base is because, again, similar to the other base, there is a CC, air defense, and 1 archer tower and the queen, which isn't a whole lot of defenses. So a kill squad coming in to just to eliminate that is not going to do you a huge favor, because you're going to be left with Tesla farms, I believe, in here, wizard tower farms, 3 air defenses, and just a whole lot of defenses here. That a 3 hounds, is it? Yeah, 3 hound, 14 loons. Imagine if you had that, or let's say like 18 loons, because if you just use 1 golem down there, that is not going to get you a 3-star for that much of the base. That's the reason why these kind of bases work, where basically the queen, to get the queen, you need to get her with smaller kill squad than a golem and say some wizards. It's just too much invested just to get the queen, and that's where people start failing. And you also invest, think about the jumps or the poison, all these other spells you're investing for just the queen and the CC. That's where you're gonna come short on the back end, and that's why appreciate this attack, because this attack is something different than a Laloon. Yeah, this was another good Town Hall 9 base that we struggled with, which is why I'm showing you this, and hopefully just understanding how these guys built up their bases can really help our Town Hall 9s understand, or any Town Hall 9s out there, understand what's working and what's a good base to counter what seems to work the best right now in the game. Yeah, really good hog placement there. I like the little the patience on the heal, and then there's the heal for because that's where the threat is. That's where a lot of the defenses are concentrated. The Hogs are benefiting greatly from those that one heal. Look how far they made the bowlers and the kill squad go in this base. That's terrific. Scaly spell pretty much swagged because the enemy queen died. Yeah, and there's pretty much cleanup. I will not show the cleanup, but this was a 3-star, so great job here. Then the next base I will show is this one. So this is another base that we struggled with. This is one of those bases where, again, it's the two air defenses overlapping one another, far away from the threat of the base, which is along the queen side with the archer towers, wizard towers, and X-bows. So yeah, that is where the threat of the base is. And for Laloon to get there, it's hard because there's no air defenses. Loons and hounds will not travel together, so that's what makes these kind of lopsided air defense bases work. But I like how Meek here, he realizes that's sort of the intent of this base, is the lopsided air defense to counter the Laloon. He goes ahead with a big kill squad, left and right side funnel right into the X-bows, and then here comes the Hoggies. Just because of the fact that the threat of the base was more along the 12 to 3 o'clock area. Once that goes down, the Hogs on the air defense side have no trouble going through all those cannons and mortars and air defenses. There is a king, but the king is a bit slow here, so it's not going to get a huge value. And I like the really patient first heal, and as well the perfectly placed second heal. He will get hit by the giant bomb here, but still great attack. Hogs do not die to double giant bombs anymore, so they are so much more valuable. And the king, let's let the king live. Nope, the king will die as well, but that's a 3-star. And the last but not least, the most strong base. I will not show the replay of this, but let's just try to understand this base and why this base was such a struggle for our Town Hall 9s. So it makes sense for all the global Laloon users for Town Hall 9s to try to come into this base from here. Now, why is that a problem? We want to come in from here just because we want to eliminate 2 air defense and the queen, if the queen steps up here, and get rid of the CC. The problem with coming in from here is people are going to use golem, wizards for the funnel, bowlers, probably wall breakers, and a jump. That is a pretty big investment, and let's see the value you get out of that. You get 2 ground defenses, which is not going to do anything for your actual Laloon backend. There's 1 archer tower, there's 1 Tesla, 2 air defense. You're going to get a ground expo that might not do a huge harm. Wizard tower, sure. And the queen. You will probably not get this expo. Maybe if you do it really perfectly. But that's not a lot. That is not enough to... I mean, if you invest 1 golem, CC bowlers, wizards, wall breakers, 1 jump, poisons, king, queen, and you just get that much, this, guys, is just too much for, what is it, 3 hounds? 3 hounds and 14 loons is not enough to get this base. Just because the fact that there's even Teslas like here as well, I think it's just too much. It's just risky. It's just not enough. And also, the threat of this base is on this side for sure. 100%. This is the threat of the base. So for this base to go down, basically your kill squad should almost be always coming in from this side on this base, whatever plan you come up with. For me, I think what would have worked the best is 2 golems, bowlers, some valks, and basically go hold this base, because it looked like this base was really weak on this side. Not that strong, but a little bit of a threat there, and a little bit weak here as well. And really strong on this area. Let's just draw a skull to say, oh my goodness, this is a huge threat of the base. Yeah, it's a good skull there. Yeah. Yeah, so I think that's what made this base so tough, was that side there. It was too much to handle with the back end Laloon. And yeah, just good base. People should realize that a base like this works. So hope this video kind of helps understand what's a good Town 9 bases, because we really struggled with the Town 9 bases this war. So hope this video helped. I'll see you guys in the next one. Next one's going to be about Town 10 bases, everything I know and can share about Town 10 bases. And hope this video really helped. I'll see you guys in the game. Make me proud, guys.